What's going on, Legionnaires? Welcome to an episode of the Legion of Comic Correction, where we talk all things Star Wars. Woo! Man, we talked about doing a bunch of episodes for this season, and we didn't. But it's over now, and we want to talk about it. We did the first 2 episodes of The Mandalorian, and now we are doing the rest of them. Just talking about the series.
There was a few in there.
There were a few more in there that were really, really...
Some would say 6
pretty
after
good.
that.
6 more. Was there 8 altogether?
Yeah,
Yes.
there were 8.
I love that. I want more series with 8 episodes.
Agreed.
Because like this whole 6 episode thing really just makes me mad.
You get no traction, man.
No, you want more.
Nope.
This was
Way
good.
too fast.
This was really good.
Really good.
Yeah,
They were really
most
good.
of the episodes were really solid, except for that one on Coruscant, which we probably won't talk about too much because it was really, really lame.
Yeah, I don't really even
I think
know
that was
why
the
we
4th
did it.
week.
I think it was the third one. I think it was like
Third week, yeah.
Third
we
or
finished
fourth.
the 2
Yeah,
and
it
we
was
were
third
like,
week.
this is going to be great.
Second wasn't strong, and then the third one came out. We're like, well, this is horrible.
Yeah, we're like,
Yeah.
We're done.
We're a little
You're
worried.
done.
Uh-oh.
And then it got better and better and better and better. So if you like talking about Star Wars or listening to us talk about Star Wars and talking to us in your room by yourself, which is fine, interaction.
Sure.
Or if you type in the comics, we'll talk back
We sure will.
in good, healthy ways.
Clap back.
I'm sure it will be real healthy, Greg. Very
Listen.
respectful.
Listen, it was
Greg.
just a bad day.
It was a bad day. You had to take out your
I had,
anger on
I
somebody.
had to go somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
I was channeling you.
Clearly.
Well, if you like this stuff,
Clearly.
think about liking and subscribing this video. 'Cause
Just
if
do
you
it.
like it and subscribe it, you help the almighty algorithm work in our favor.
Yes, sir.
We get more clicks, we get more views, and we can make more content just like this. And if you want to support in a more personal way, go into the description
Personal.
down below. Click those links. You can click on our legionofcc.com where you can buy sweet merch like that, sweet merch like this, and this too, and sweet merch like those things over there.
You can buy me.
We've gone over
Really?
this before.
What was
We've
it,
gone
$4
over this
grand?
before. We cannot buy you.
Yeah, I think we decided
Cannot
that
buy you.
owning a person is not a good thing.
No. We've gone over this before.
Yeah, don't sell yourself for the podcast.
This is the way.
This is the way.
Anything for the Legion.
I have spoken. So go down there
Make it so.
to support that way. That's the wrong one.
What?
I told
Make
Carly.
it so. That's Star Trek.
Oh,
I
no.
told Carly the other day
I was
if,
trying to make-
if I really wanted to end a conversation, I would just go. This is the way. I have spoken.
I have spoken.
and then
Yo,
there's
when-
no comeback. There's
do
no comeback
what do
to
they, What I want to say lug nuts because they work on things, but it's not lug nuts. It's
Cragnuts. Something like that.
something
Yeah, I'll look it up.
nuts. I forget when he sits down with them in this
Yeah.
season, and he's like, "You gotta talk to him this way. This is the way." Oh man, it was so good.
Yeah.
Anyway, support us also if you want to by going to Patreon, and you get exclusive content, free stuff, discounted stuff, other cool stuff, and you can help us out. So if you
All
want to
the
see
stuff.
this show get better and better, we only are here because of our fans. So thank you
Ugnut.
guys so much
That's
for that.
right.
What was it?
Ugnut.
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 Ugnuts. Yeah.
Crazy Ugnuts.
Yo, they're cool. Their
They were pretty
prosthetics.
cool.
Their prosthetics are on point.
All of them.
Yeah, so much
are.
of this show
so
is
much
practical.
of this has
Yeah.
become much more practical and solid.
Good to see.
It
Yep.
feels like the original series.
But the CGI, when it's CGI, is phenomenal.
oh my word,
It is. It's
Yeah.
a
It's really
higher
good.
quality
Crisp.
in shows than you
it's
expect.
really good.
Yep.
Stupid
Really
good.
nice.
Really nice.
Yep.
Yeah. So we're talking about the Mandalorian. If you haven't already decided that or figured that out,
We're talking about Sonic 2.
No, we're not. No, you're not taking me back down that road, sir.
Don't you take me there.
don't you dare! I'm just recovered. That's why we haven't put out
Just
episodes.
bounce back.
We've been slowly recovering.
Got back to health.
Oh. Anyway,
Yeah.
Mandalorian season 3. If you haven't watched season 3, don't listen to us yet. Go watch it and
Best
then come back and
season
listen to
yet.
us. It pretty
Nobody,
much-
definitely not the
season
whole
yet.
I
entire
would say
cast
so.
dies.
Yeah, totally not. Baby Yoda doesn't go and just kill everybody.
Berserk.
Totally not. He has yet to force choke anyone since he force choked Gina Carano.
Yeah.
He needs to come back and do that.
We need to see. Yeah,
Start
we need to see a little
force
more.
choking
He's
some
more
people.
force choking.
Yeah.
He got,
I'm always down for a good force choke.
he got mech-suit riding.
Yeah, we did get that.
He needs some force choke action.
Yep. Yeah.
Anyway, Mandalorian season 3. I think it was
I think
the
it's the best Mandalorian season
Mando
yet.
season yet.
best season yet.
I know we're going to have some differing opinions here on the finale. Slightly. I think we agree for the most part on where it landed. But this one, this was the first, we actually just talked about this before we started recording. This is the first season where it kind of branches away from Mando or from Din Djarin and really takes some lead from other Mandalorians.
Well,
like
I don't
the
know.
Armorer and Bo-Katan and
I
like
agree with you I don't know if it branches away more. I kind of think it's more along the lines of just you have Bo-Katan as a second star of the series. Like Bo-Katan in this third season isn't somebody playing second fiddle to Din Djarin.
Right.
She's
not a cameo.
She's not a cameo. Season 1 and 2 where she shows up, she's second fiddle to Din Djarin. But this season she is a co-lead with him, and it's phenomenal. It's phenomenal.
Yeah, I'm telling you, for the most part, I mean, I love. You'll never see me go against Pedro Pascal. I love Pedro Pascal so much.
Agreed.
Agreed. There are many instances I feel like in this season where she freaking steals the show.
Oh, 100%.
They're going
Okay,
through.
Sackhoff.
Yeah. I was just looking up I couldn't remember her name. Yeah, she's freaking she was always so great in Clone Wars. Like, I loved her voice acting.
Sure.
And I was like, you never know. Like, not saying voice actors are not good actors. They are, but it's a different trade. And so you never really know, can she come in and have that same power
it's a fair
as
question.
a character?
It's a fair question.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, sure, she looks like her because they fashion Bo-Katan after her face. Like, so it's like, it looks like her.
Right.
But man, she came in and is just a powerhouse.
Yeah,
the delivery of her lines are so good. It's just great.
She's not originally a voice actor first.
Right.
What she acted on Battlestar
Galactica, right?
Yeah. And so she, like we talked about before, she's kind of
she's done other stuff.
Sci-fi royalty, to be honest. And so I don't think that I had ever had any doubt she could come in and do it if she had the opportunity. The question really came down to would a studio give her the opportunity to do the live action stuff? Why wouldn't they? I mean, at least they weren't dumb enough to not go that route, which I'm glad to see.
She's Poison Ivy.
She was phenomenal.
In the Long Halloween, she's Poison Ivy.
I know.
Did you know that she was? Did you know she's Sarah Hall in Call of Duty?
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
She's a phenomenal actress. She's a phenomenal actress.
She was in Riddick.
And it was yep.
Black Cat in
Are
Spider-Man.
you just starting to read her biography?
Yeah,
I wasn't.
I love reading people's biographies.
I love looking and seeing where they where
voice actors, especially because they do so much work.
She's one of the she's one
they
of
do.
Right.
She's a Marine in Halo 3.
Yep.
I'm sure.
Let's see, where did she start? 1998. She was Karen Gotatis in 15 and Pregnant.
That was her start.
And now she's Bo-Katan.
Yeah.
Which is
much cooler.
What a jump. So good.
Big jump.
Man, she was great. So many cool things.
So yeah, I mean, if we're going to look at all of the episodes.
Yeah, let's talk about some bigger things we saw.
I'm going to just tell you outright. I mean, let's look at this. The story of this season was about recapturing Mandalore.
We called it.
Right?
We called it.
Very thankful for that.
Yeah.
Very exciting.
I think you said it the most. I think when we were talking about season 3, you were like,
I won't toot my own horn, but
I think you were the one that was
one that said it.
Really? I don't remember. You guys look exactly the same.
I'll fist bump that.
Look at you.
Exactly the same.
Look at us.
That's
look at us. Look at all of us.
Look at all of us. No, but on the show we called that the best course of action for this season was to focus on the retaking of Mandalore.
Regardless of who said it.
We determined that is the best course of action. And they did
it. My only quick touch on the one episode that we don't really want to talk about is just the episode on Coruscant.
Yeah.
I don't know why it was there.
I mean,
it was so. Yeah, well, go ahead.
Yeah. Tell me.
No, I mean, I think
break it down for me because I legitimately,
I've got some reasons.
I legitimately feel you could have just, and it would have been the same thing.
You could do that to that one, and also episode 6 when they were with Jack Black.
Yeah, Jack Black,
well, she had to get her You probably could.
She had to get given the Darksaber, you mean?
Well, no, he's talking about, like,
she had to get
she-
back the
she had to
rest of the
fight Axe.
Mandalorian.
She
had to
fight
Fight
Axe and-
Yeah, okay. So there's a little piece of the episode that needs
I hear
sure.
you though.
Yeah,
That's-
So,
5 minutes.
Well, the other part of that is then episode 3.
Yeah.
There are little parts. There needs to be
Yeah.
recognition that the New Republic is really not that much different than the
Right,
Empire.
right.
They just say
Right.
that they're doing
Brainwashing.
things that are better than what the Empire's, mantra is or what they're actually trying to accomplish.
Fair point.
So,
fair point.
what the Empire was doing was to control the whole galaxy with force. So, but the New Republic is trying to just have a conglomerate of everyone working together, but also forcing people in doing so and not allowing people to have their own opinions.
Yes.
So realistically, what's the difference between the two tyrannical forces? So like it needed to be vocalized and recognized, and
Yeah,
they needed
yeah.
an episode to do that. They could have gone a lot of different ways. They should have gone different ways, but they went with that, and
Yeah.
it was stupid.
I
It was,
forgot
as
that the-
Victoria says, it was just watched. It looked like a Hallmark movie with
Yeah.
a little
Yeah,
bit of
yeah.
like politics.
So it,
The one thing I can
Yeah.
say about it also was that the henchman of Moff Gideon gets
that's what I was
revealed.
going to bring.
Like,
Sure.
Katie M. O'Brien.
Yeah,
she's freaking
that's
great.
the only other thing that I would say goes along with it is we find out
She's
that
not
Moff
great.
Gideon,
I thought she was fine.
She's not
She's-
great.
I thought she
Fine.
was fine.
but you're fine is great.
Right.
Yeah.
You're like,
You
she was
know,
great.
remember-
She's not great.
Remember our aggregate.
She's fine.
um,
She's all right.
but
I thought she was. I
we
enjoyed her
get to
character.
see through that how Moff Gideon still has people entrenched.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just didn't really like her.
Yeah. Well, I don't think you're supposed to, though. Or do you?
You're not supposed
just
to like
as
Moff
an
Gideon
actor?
either, but I like Moff Gideon.
Right. Right. Sure. Sure. So I think
I didn't like her character. I don't
She's
think
not a good
Yeah.
bad
she's the
guy.
same character as Thor: Love and Thunder, right? The warrior lady.
No, that's not. No, it's you're thinking of Ant-Man. She's Ant-Man the
Or
War.
I meant what did I
Ant-Man
say?
and the Quantum. You said Thor: Love
Thor:
and
Love and
Thunder.
Thunder. Yes, I'm sorry. Yes.
Ant-Man the Quantum.
That's the same
Quantum.
woman, right?
It is, but
Actress.
She has really long hair in the Ant-Man movie and really
Yeah.
short hair in this movie.
Yeah.
Right. She's not that long of hair, does she?
Yeah. It's,
Yeah.
Like, it's like down to like middle of her back.
Yep.
All braided up and stuff.
Right.
But-
it's like braided. Yeah, yeah.
She, yeah,
It's not like
I think she was better in Ant-Man because she was a warrior.
I think she was better than Ant-Man too.
Yeah, I agree.
Agreed.
I agree. I think you're exactly right though in that the purpose of the episode was to show the true colors of the New Republic. Right.
Right.
The irony was not lost on us that the calamari was the initiator of the trap
Yeah.
at the end. Right. All I wanted to be is like, it's a trap. Get out of there. It also, it was also just show that the Empire was still more moving towards clones.
Right.
It was showing that. It was showing the fact that she was a plant and that was like Moff Gideon still alive kind of a thing. But it was like 51 minutes long or something like that, or 52
it was
minutes
a
long.
long episode.
It was the longest episode of the season. And they could have told, like, even if they didn't tell the story differently, like if they told the exact same story about him being brought to, essentially a worker camp and being told what his job is and trying to figure out how to break out of it and being trapped and brainwashed, they could have told that exact same story in like 25 minutes.
Yeah.
Right.
And it would have,
And they probably could have done
would have been
them,
fine.
Bo-Katan re-getting her crew in that other 20 minutes.
Yeah, that same. Yeah, but like honestly, I think the story that they told
Mhm.
would have been exponentially better, even if they didn't change anything. If they just cut it in half, in lengthwise. But I think the reason why we hated it was
I don't want to
just
spend
so
like another
long.
moment on that episode.
so
because
long.
It's not worth our time.
You guys
Yeah.
both made the statement that this season is the best season yet.
I
The
I
Mandalorian.
believe so.
Yeah.
Unless you count season 2.5 that took place in the middle
Oh,
of
Boba Fett?
I think that was the best.
No,
season.
yeah. I think season 1 was good.
Season
I think
one was really
season
good.
1 was
It's-
good.
I agree,
Season one
But
was really
season
good.
2 was just not great.
I just like the story of. I like this story of recapturing Mandalore
Sure.
and the story of the interactions of all of the
Yeah.
Mandalorians.
No, I would
Yeah.
agree.
I liked it better. That's all.
Yeah.
No,
That's all.
I mean, if I had to pick one to watch, it would be this
Yeah.
season.
Yeah.
But it's
Yeah.
not. It's just that I think this first season was good too, especially for being
Oh, I'm not disagreeing.
a season that they took chances on and stuff.
Yeah.
And it was new. It was the first time we saw Star Wars allowed to go back to its roots in
Yeah.
the live action, and it felt really different.
Yeah.
I'm not disagreeing at
Yeah.
all. I just this to get to the next part of this season, this story of recapturing Mandalore, everything that they went through to be able to do that, the highs and lows for Bo-Katan, Din Djarin's interaction and his loyalty to her, learning about how Mandalore was lost the first time, truthfully lost the first time by having it be surrendered to Moff Gideon,
when you found that,
and then him turning on them and going against the deal that she had put in place.
Technically, the first time was Darth Maul.
Yes,
I truthfully, I'm sorry, but you
in the Mandalorian,
I'm talking Mandalorian, but you're right.
I'm glad they answered that, because we always wondered how did he get the Darksaber from Bo-Katan,
right? And so the highs and lows of all of that, the interactions between the Mandalorians, having to have to overcome the differences in the way, I think all of that is what spoke to me the most. And Moff Gideon became a much, much more powerful villain than I anticipated. We think back to
the first
season when Din Djarin fights him. Din Djarin wipes the floor with this man.
Yeah.
And, he comes back, and I think we'll talk a little bit about the finale, but the way that finale plays out speaks volumes of the Mandalorians and the growth of Din Djarin and Bo-Katan's relationship, too. So that's why, from a high-level place, why I really thought this third season was the best. And it was, action-packed.
There were very few episodes that drug.
I think there were some parts in the action packs, though, that for me being who I am as like a really big fan of Star Wars, I was just like, it's really good, but I feel like they're just throwing action in there to appease like people that want action.
So let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think we're fine to just move into the last two episodes of the season.
Sure. Let's go there.
Before that, season 6 was absolutely useless. Besides to get Bo-Katan's crew, which is cool because we got to see the gravitas. We saw the gravitas of like how many people actually left Bo-Katan.
Yeah,
and seeing how
that,
Axe
think is
took
the most important part.
everyone.
Yes.
So, Axe, right? That's his name.
Axe.
Axe. His name is Axe. I don't remember his last name. Woves.
Woves. Yeah.
Woves.
So anyway, the whole season built up to the last two episodes, and the last two episodes, in the second to last episode, we saw probably the most action, like gunfight and stuff like that. Head for head. Yeah.
You mean in the second to last?
Yeah. I mean, even the last episode, they're probably pretty close. They're probably pretty close. But the second to last episode, there was it just felt like, like they're in the mines and it was cool and, right around where the forge is, and they're like, oh shoot, there's a straight up secret base here.
Yeah, I was not expecting that.
Right, the dark troopers with the alloy Beskar come in.
The interceptors were hanging in the bay there.
That was the twist that I don't think any of us saw coming.
Ready for it.
Retaking Mandalore.
The Empire's base is on.
Yeah, I thought Moff would come to them, but no.
Yeah, we were trying to think about who do they have to fight to retake Mandalore? Right. Technically, we think Mandalore is basically abandoned. We think that retaking a Mandalore is having to have to figure out a way to be able to re-inhabit it. Versus,
Are they going to fight those cave trolls?
Right. Versus, Moff Gideon's secret base is there. And when he speaks to the secret council,
we'll talk about that.
He's requesting a ton of resources that you don't even realize are actually on the planet.
Yeah. Right. Well, when he talks about I love how he talks to the Shadow Council about cloning's your obsession.
Right.
And really he's secretly funneling all this money into his own clones.
Right.
So that he can create force sensitive versions of himself. I think that's so great.
Not just that, he's challenging. When you look at that,
he doesn't think Thrawn exists.
Yeah, he doesn't think Thrawn. He thinks Thrawn is dead.
Yeah,
and he thinks that they have need for new leadership. And obviously, whenever you say something like that, you're recommending yourself.
Well, he definitely is.
Yeah. So to go back to the point I was trying to make was that I like the action. I think it was good. I just think it was kind of just placed there to be placed there, just because. So the whole the whole thing with Mandalorian, especially the ones that were outcasted to the moon. So the primary ones we see besides Bo-Katan,
Right.
is that their weapons are their religion, right? Their
Right.
religion are weapons. Their fighting skills are their weapons, and we see that with especially for the first time, really with Din in the last episode, it's hand-to-hand combat, which we were all I was stoked to see.
Freaking
Everyone was
amazing.
awesome. It was awesome, but
Yeah, he
I
didn't have
felt
any of
like
his
they
weapons with
got.
him.
I feel like they got their butts kicked in the second to last episode with the whole ambush
with the super stormtroopers.
Yeah, and the thing is that we have to remember is that they made the suits out of Beskar alloy, not pure Beskar, which Beskar is what the Mandalorians use. They use pure Beskar. So the alloy does deflect more than normal armor, obviously than Stormtrooper plastic armor, but it's not as much as a Mandalorian suit. And I just felt like they were picking off too many Mandalorians, and they were outgunned and things like that. Their numbers were not overwhelming compared to the Mandalorians' numbers in the cave. So there was just a little for me being who I was just scrutinizing it. I was I just feel like they're not really that outnumbered. They're not. They saw them come from.
They were flying
not a mile away, but half a mile away, quarter mile away, and they are very well equipped individuals. They're not just rebel troopers with friggin' century-old blasters and no armor besides weird speed rollerblading helmets. So I just felt like, and they all had jetpacks. They could all leave at any point.
The only thing that I would say to that, I agree with Harry. I agree with everything that you're saying, but I think the one thing I would say to that is, I think the Mandalorians' style of fighting is to expect that they are better equipped, and not just better equipped, better armored in any situation. And so not only did the stormtroopers have the element of surprise, but the element of surprise in their armor and weaponry being more powerful than what the Mandalorians had dealt with in the past.
Right, but when you're the best, you're the best. Doesn't matter what the other people have.
I agree. However,
the most that the Mandalorians
they showed that then.
Mandalorians' greatest challengers were the Jedi.
100%.
Yeah.
Right. So when they fought them with the Sith actually hired in the Old Republic a bunch of Mandalorians to fight for them. Not the ones on Mandalore, but the ones on the moons, Death Watch and things like that.
I agree with you, but I think just my one point is, at first they're taken aback by it,
right?
And then when they are able to regather their footing,
right, they did win.
They wrecked them. They wrecked House.
Yeah, they did.
The only one they weren't able to wreck House on
was Moff.
And that's because his suit wasn't just Beskar.
Yeah.
It was a freaking mechanized suit.
Yeah,
right. Which we don't really realize until he breaks the dark
saber.
No. You hear it the whole time. I don't know if you noticed. I picked up on it.
The Darth Vader fanboy.
Well,
but a sick suit.
But it wasn't just that. I mean, his helmet was phenomenal.
His helmet with Darth.
I want that helmet.
I want that helmet.
Yeah. Darth Maul Mandalorian helmet.
Yeah,
the Darth Maul spikes.
Yeah, but sorry. So when you heard him walk, you could hear it was more mechanized.
Whine a little bit.
Yeah. So it had that wind up. So that's his suit was the only one that I was straight up. They were
right.
They
of course,
he
had the best of the
matched.
best.
They were matched, but because even when he was fighting Mando, who out of all of the Mandalorians, Mando's got the best armor.
Right,
he has the most.
He has the most Beskar. He has the most Beskar in him, and when he went head to head with him,
he would catch
Moff at him.
He would catch hands and then toss him down. It was the strength. It was he had.
Let's talk about throwing hands.
Yeah. Well, it was good.
Can I add? I want to add to that them being taken off guard by people who have similar armor to them.
Yeah.
But if you also noticed that all the super stormtroopers, since they're on Mandalore, they have a wealth of Beskar, and they're mining it, and they're creating full suits of armor, and the majority of the Children of the Watch had they had so many open points in their bodies
They
because
really
they were making their armor out of the tokens they were earning for doing bounties.
Yeah.
So most of the Children of the Watch had a plate and leg pads, but they had openings all over them, whereas these super stormtroopers were clad from head to toe in Beskar. And so
Beskar alloy though.
yeah, sure, but it's they need to be, the Mandalorians have so many fewer places to hit to actually do damage.
Well, and that was going to be,
whereas the other guys can hit them.
That was going to be the last point.
Openings everywhere.
That was going to be the last point, was when with being so well trained, so much more powerful, they're used to not having to have to necessarily pick their shots in the same way, because the armor for, like you said, cardboard armor that we know
or just none or whatever.
None. So when I fire at your head, I expect your head to have a hole in it.
Well, think about it when Din, you even notice it when Din is pushing through the corridors with all the other Mandalorians. He's taking the front and he's just boom, 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 getting hit.
Yeah, he pushes. He literally uses head first,
and he pushes people away because he's got the most coverage.
He could do it.
He could plow through, and that's what the super stormtroopers could do.
These
other guys couldn't do it.
These are all good points.
Yeah,
but what I'm saying is that I just felt listen, if they just did it because they need to have the action, they need to have the ability to show they can get picked apart a little bit, and that's fine. It's just when it came down to it, eventually, this is what really made me upset. Obviously, they killed my boy, but
yeah, they did.
But the part, yes, the way he went out was cool.
This is the way.
Besides,
I have spoken.
Paz! I just don't understand why they did the way that he did. I don't know. It was dumb.
Well, he could.
How much
could have just shot off with his jetpack?
How much more awesome?
No, I think they broke his jetpack during the fight.
No, they broke it.
But even if they
could have just flew away beforehand.
That's what I'm saying. Even but this
he wasn't going to. I know.
How many movies though does this happen where the hero's "Go, I'll cover you"? It's you could just left. You just left everybody else.
Yeah. He was eating bullets while Bo-Katan was crawling through that hole.
Back up.
He could have just backed up into the hole.
Through the hole. But it's and that happens so many times in movies. But it's the idea of
sacrificial hero.
Himself.
Yes.
Yeah. And it's
that man took.
But you can only do that.
I mean, he took the whole entire squad out.
Everybody out until the Praetorian Guard came out. They were the only ones that. But it was only.
I don't understand what those things are. They're a hybrid of a shock saber.
Yeah, well, they're similar to the things that were in the movies that we must not name.
Sure, right.
And they're
the same ones that they use in the ion shields when R5 is taking each shield down. So
well, and they're obviously a next step in the evolution of the Emperor's guards.
Correct.
Right? We have the Emperor's Scarlet guards in Return of the Jedi, and then this is the next level where they started adding Beskar to it.
I mean, the ones in the Republic were just guys with spears.
Right. Well, yeah, and then
true.
We see here because we saw in those movies that must not be named that they had this much more powerful armor, and so this is obviously the start of it. Is that Moff Gideon started equipping them with Beskar laid armar? Yeah, which makes them so much cooler.
Yeah,
but
and don't get me wrong, I enjoyed it all.
16 times.
Paz went out like a man.
Paz went out Boromir style.
He was awesome. I mean, I don't know what other way you would have wanted him to go. He took out one.
He didn't want him to go.
Shot everyone. The second the gun stopped working, killed a guy with the butt of the gun by throwing it at him. Yeah. Then took anybody else out who was on the ground. Then was killed by the most awesome guards.
And he held them forever.
And held on for a while.
He held them for a while, and then they had to. Three
of them had to take him down.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can I say though? I mean, we're going to talk about more when we talk about the Bad Batch, but Marvel needs to watch Star Wars. Marvel needs to start watching Star Wars. You know why?
Why?
Because they freaking kill people.
That's very true.
People be dying.
People be dying, and
people we like
be dying. Yeah. And they're not coming back.
Not coming back.
So we need
Paz isn't coming back.
He's not coming back, right? So we need to Marvel needs to start watching this and be like, hey guys, guess what? It's okay to kill off fan popular characters.
Right.
It's not okay.
It creates gravity.
Can I say the
creates
only
gravity, man?
that was actually
So good.
honest to God, that was top 2 scene
Oh yeah.
of the entire series right now.
What was your favorite scene?
Well, it's between these two. I don't even know.
Okay.
Din going through
each door?
layer
Yeah, that's what I was
of the
gonna say.
force fields.
That's my. You know, I read an article.
so awesome.
I think
so awesome.
I think it was today. I read an article where they were like,
and the man went in with nothing.
well, that's what
That was the decision.
somebody wrote. I can't remember what site I was on. I read so many things about these episodes, but they were saying he was like he went John Wick style.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
He has to find a gun. He has to figure it out.
Get this man a gun.
Yeah. Right.
To be perfectly honest,
So good.
I don't know if this is, and this goes for both of these situations. I don't know if this is the failure or the strength of the Mandalorian, but like neither of those guys should be making that decision, and they make that decision.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I don't know if that is out of failure of the way or out
Right,
of
of
the
their
strength of the
stubbornness.
way.
You mean
Their
Paz and Din?
stubbornness.
Yeah.
Paz and Din
Yeah. He should have never
had
gone in
other
alone.
decisions they should have made in that moment.
Right,
They
Din
should have.
He should have
Paz
waited.
should have gone through the door.
Right.
Din should not have gone through those.
Not alone.
Not alone,
Yeah.
and not without any weapons.
Yeah. He could easily gone back,
but they
gotten weapons,
both
and
were
come back
just
in.
like,
Send
nah,
it.
Nah.
full send, full
Warrior's
send.
death.
That's
well,
right.
it's like
Yeah.
what Moff Gideon offered Bo-Katan. He's like, I'll
But
give
I
you
don't
a
even
warrior's
think it was
death.
Yeah.
Warrior's death. I think literally for both of them, they had confidence and believed that they would both make
Nah,
it
I don't
through.
think Paz did. I think he knew he was gonna die. I think he knew it was done.
I don't know. I don't
He's
know.
like, I'm done. But you know why he did it? For
This
his
is the
son.
way.
And for his son.
Well, yeah. I mean,
His son is back there. He needs to keep
the
them alive.
short amount of time that we got to see the relationship between him and his son
Yeah.
was actually really great.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
like to be able to.
And then he gets crowned. Not
establish
crowned.
that-
He becomes the Mandalorian.
become a
and
man-
he says
Right.
the creed
Yeah.
at the end.
Yeah.
Takes the oath, yeah.
Now we do a time
It's good.
jump, so Jon Favreau can voice a third generation of the Vizsla clan
Yeah.
because he voiced what's his name, the guy from Clone Wars. What's the first ones? Is Paz? Is the son?
Kreese.
It might no, that you're thinking of Bo-Katan
No,
Kryze.
Bo-Katan Kryze.
Yeah, but Vizsla's father,
Yeah.
Paz Vizsla's father in Clone Wars was voiced by Jon Favreau, and then he voiced Paz in this one. So we just need to do like a 10-year jump,
10-year jump.
and then Vizsla's son can be voiced by Jon Favreau again.
That'll be a real deep voice
Yeah,
for
forget
only
it.
a 10-year jump.
Maybe like 22,
No, well,
23.
maybe.
My voice dropped when I was like 15,
45.
12. 45 was when
What
yours
if,
dropped.
No, yours dropped when it was 45.
When I was
You were
45? I'm not 45 yet.
Oh, that's because you haven't dropped yet.
Yeah, that's true. My voice is so high. Such a good show.
No,
Such a good
I-
show. All right, what else? What else? There's more stuff.
Mm-hmm.
There's too much stuff.
Well,
There's
we're-
too much stuff.
Let's end with we won't go there now, but let's end with the Shadow Council, and because points
that'll
to
set
Ahsoka.
off.
That points to
Yeah, that
Ahsoka,
kinda sets
and it
off
kind
the
of
next
points to the
thing.
Oh,
front.
you could just talk about Grogu. What were
Yeah.
your thoughts of Grogu throughout this season?
Din Grogu, you mean?
Din
Yes,
Grogu.
Din
Put some
Grogu.
respect on the name.
Because
Din
that's
Baby
how
Yoda?
names work.
I
Yeah,
guess.
he be out here flexing Jedi muscle at this point.
Yo,
Yeah, looking good.
And not
Rebels.
passing out.
Rebels connection there at the end
With the force field bubble.
with the force field bubble that Kanan couldn't hold.
Yeah.
Because so in Rebels, for those of you who have not seen the show, Kanan dies saving the crew of the Ghost from a huge explosion. Were they on? What's it? Ezra's planet. What was his planet's name? Oh my goodness.
Ryloth?
No. I can't remember the name of his
Rhodia?
planet. No. It was a different one. It was one that we hadn't.
Just gonna start
I can't
thinking
remember.
through
Yeah,
Star
think
Wars.
through the planets. But anyway, they were on his planet, and the huge explosion
Rebellion.
goes off, and Kanan saves them all, but he is engulfed in the flames and dies doing so. But Baby Yoda friggin' saves them all.
But
When it blew up and we saw Moff like get incinerated, quote unquote. We'll talk about that too. And I saw Bo like step in front and like put down the shield. I'm like,
yeah,
that's not gonna do anything.
No.
But then I
think
wasn't expecting Baby Yoda to
Lothal.
friggin' force shield. Lothal, that's it.
he
Yeah, Lothal. Man, I can't believe I forgot.
think
that.
about that. He's out here flexing these muscles that other Jedi are not able
Yo,
to
he's
do.
something special.
But not just that. He didn't pass out.
No.
You know.
Yeah, he did sit down though.
He got
It was-
tired.
when he was using his force to help his dad out fighting all the guards.
You know what's
my
funny?
my wife was like, he's not tired anymore. This is great. And then at the end, he's like, he sits down, and we're like, yeah, he's tired now.
Outside of the force field bubble,
Yeah,
Grogu is out here just using the force to be annoying to people.
yeah, 100%.
True.
Every single
He's just messing
time.
with people.
He must have moved a weapon like just out of reach
And, like,
4 or 5 times
And like
from
trip people, he like
Nope.
he's like sweep the leg,
No,
sweep the leg,
No,
no,
sweep the leg.
no, no.
no, you can't have. Yeah,
No.
I love that thing. Yo, how about when the guard is after him and he like jumps up on the light fixtures and he's just like beep 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 beep, beep like, running around in a
First
circle.
off-
They're like swinging at him. It's like
First off,
His
that
little
is a
legs.
circle. That room is a circle.
yeah, right.
How did they not catch him before Din came into that room?
Dude, he's
Literally,
fast.
there are
He's fast, man.
Greg.
He's so
There
fast.
are 3 of them.
Yo,
It is a circle.
He's all hopped up on space skittles.
Pop, pop. You only need 2 of them.
It's
And they could
practically
have caught him.
cocaine.
He's
He's
Hulk.
hopped up on space skittles. You see how much he ate on Navarro before they left for this mission?
Yeah, I don't.
He was over there chowing down before he got his mech suit. That stuff stays in your system for like weeks.
But I mean,
Weeks.
You're
Should
you're
we?
on a sugar high for like
should we talk
At
at all
least a
about
week.
the fact that Moff Gideon was trying to infuse himself with the Force?
well, it's been done before. It's more in the books and the comics. The idea of creating force sensitive clones. They tried to do it. In fact, part of what they believe the Ahsoka series kind of runs into is
Hold on. Have they tried to, has it been done prior to this?
yeah. Well,
Okay.
like in the books
All
and
right.
comics. Yeah.
No, that's what I'm asking.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm asking, has it been done like is there a precedent for it anywhere?
Yes.
Before this, because I understand that there is in the Ahsoka series, we could talk about all the things that it could be.
Well, but it's
like I'm talking about like, is there
So
any
it's
precedent
pointing-
to this point?
it's pointing to there's just several. There's some actually in the comic books, the old comic books from I believe they were still under the Marvel canopy at that point. But also in the Timothy Zahn books from the 90s about Admiral Thrawn, and I'll mention a little bit when we talk about the Shadow Council. But Joruus C'baoth, I'm probably butchering that name, but I don't think anybody knows how to say it. 'Cause I don't think it's ever been said out loud. But he was a clone of an ancient Jedi master that they infused with force-sensitive genes, and they were doing it to try and create force-sensitive. They were trying to create like a stormtrooper army that was force-sensitive, so that they could have like limited force powers. So like this is all, and in fact, when like the season 1 of The Mandalorian, when we first found out that Grogu was force sensitive, and they were testing on him, that's the first thing people thought, especially when we got those super stormtrooper creature, like the robots that came after Grogu when he was on the planet meditating or whatever.
Yeah.
We were thinking those might be the force sensitive troopers that they were like trying to create. And so there is a lot of precedent in the books and the comics, the video games, and Moff's trying to inject it into like himself,
Into his own
as
clones.
his own clones, and they're freaking alive, man. With his eyes open, that freaked me out.
Yep.
Yeah.
Little blue Moff Gideon floating in the tank.
Din had no remorse.
Boop, blow him up.
Blow him up immediately.
They're not.
There was not a
Get outta
single
here.
Get him out of
second
here.
of hesitation.
No.
That dude blew them up so fast.
Yeah, he's smart, man.
Oh, no kidding.
Can you imagine like
Moff was ticked.
there was like
Ticked.
8 Gideon clones? Can you imagine 8 Moff Gideons
Can't
just coming
imagine how
out?
many
With
credits
force
that costs.
sensitive.
Yeah.
In those suits.
Stupid. That he had to kill
Dumb.
him right there. Just get him
Dumb.
out of here. And they weren't even like
Moff, dude, Moff
awakened
is
yet.
smart. Moff
Yeah,
is
smart dude.
Moff Gideon is smart.
a smart dude. He wants to rule. He's just like all the great like Star Wars Empire villains. I feel like he's really. You were saying he's kind of stepped to another level in this season.
He did.
He's becoming somebody that I'm willing to speak in the same breath as Vader and Thrawn. You know, like he feels like one of those big kind of gravitas villains.
I don't know. That's a big push. I mean,
He's getting there, man.
he's getting
He's
there.
the full Beskar mech suit.
So do you think he's dead?
No.
No.
So I think that one's dead.
Oh.
I think so if you remember in the movies that shall not be named, but also in the comics, the Emperor found a way to transfer his consciousness between clones. And so he could transfer himself to another clone body and wake up as himself with all of his memories and kind of start anew in a fresh body. He actually tried to do it in a body created of Luke Skywalker clone to transfer his mind because it was a powerful Force body.
Yeah.
So I believe that Moff is dead, but I believe that suit had a transponder that would transmit his consciousness into another clone. And I think we're going to get a Force-sensitive Moff Gideon, maybe as like a right-hand man to Thrawn, kind of waking up and going about the galaxy. I don't think he's gone for good.
I don't know if a Force-sensitive Moff Gideon would be a right-hand man to anyone.
Well, he might start that way and then take control.
That's fair.
As an actor, he could do it.
As an actor,
It's freaking amazing.
he is phenomenal, and I definitely he's a major. He's played a bunch of villains, but Thrawn is also. I mean, talk about voice actors getting their due.
Yeah, jumping in.
Yeah, being able to jump in. Thrawn.
It's good.
I
It's
mean,
good to see.
it's a
Nice to see.
it's a great casting.
Well, it's like why fix what's not broken? You know, like he was freaking incredible in Rebels.
Well, to be
I know
fair,
Benedict Cumberbatch was like the
no,
people
that's
we're
not what
talking
I was
about.
going to say. I was going to say, to be fair,
Yeah.
I don't know if it was the cartoonists making the cartoons look like the actors,
Yeah.
but I mean, they both look like the characters that they were playing, so
Yeah.
it made
Besides
casting easy.
Well, I mean, he's a Mickelson,
Beside the blue, yeah.
so he's going to be so good, man.
Yeah.
He's going to be so good. I know people were hoping Benedict Cumberbatch would be Thrawn, and I think Benedict Cumberbatch would have been really great.
Right.
I think he would have been
That's
really,
because
really
Benedict Cumberbatch could pretty much play anybody and be really great.
Mhm.
good. Yeah, but I am really happy that Lars Mikkelsen is going to get a chance to bring this to the live screen, to the live action. Man, it's going to be good.
Lars Mikkelsen was one of the villains on Sherlock. So there's your connection to Benedict Cumberbatch as
Was he
well.
really?
Yeah.
Let's see, I'm looking up on his.
He was
Oh yeah, he was Charles Magnuson.
Magnuson.
He was in
Magnuson
2 episodes.
Magnuson was
I got to rewatch
rough.
that, man. That's so freaking good. Such a good series.
Yeah. The BBC one.
He just
The BBC one.
Sherlock just straight up shot him.
Yeah, well, hey, you got to do what you got to do, maybe Robert Downey will or not Robert Downey, maybe Benedict Cumberbatch will show up on this series and straight up shoot Thrawn.
That would and now
Walk
there
in.
is our
Full circle.
Just walks
crossover
in.
into the Sherlock galaxy.
Mind Palace.
Mind
Boom.
Palace shoots him in the head.
Shoots him in the head.
So I guess we could
Yeah.
start to move into the
Shadow Council.
Shadow Council.
Yeah, let's move into
and
what's
our
the
thoughts
future.
on the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The future of the Mandalorian and the Mando verse that they've created.
You have a huge theory on this Shadow Council. Why don't you go ahead and dive in?
I have a huge theory on the shadow. Oh, you mean
Like,
of with
the
Thrawn and everything?
Yes.
Yeah, so we get some interesting characters. I can't remember the dude with the mustache, and you're gonna all call me a terrible Star Wars fan. I probably am.
You're a terrible Star Wars fan.
Thank you,
Did it for
Harry.
you.
Would you like to?
You're the worst.
I totally am. I'm the best at being the worst, though. He's got the guy with the big like walrus mustache. He is from the books, from Thrawn with the Thrawn series, and he is like Thrawn's right hand man. And so he obviously talks about the return of Thrawn, and he then talks to another leader there who has the last name of Hux, and it's been confirmed that he is the father of Hux from the sequel trilogy that we will not name. So he's got some family background in helping the Empire, rise again. Though the Hux in the sequel trilogy becomes a traitor, which is kind of interesting to think about. So maybe it was the in-depth work in the Empire and his knowledge of cloning that like drove his son to hate him.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, but anyway, Hux
I don't think so. Hux. What drove Hux to be a traitor was
Kylo Ren.
Kylo
whining.
Ren. Yeah, it wasn't
He's such a baby.
anything else.
Yeah.
It was just Kylo Ren smacking him around.
He's like, I don't want to work for this dude. He has
Yeah.
temper tantrums.
No, that was exactly.
He's a grown man.
He's a grown man.
He's a grown man wears a breathing apparatus he doesn't need.
Yeah.
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 Well,
that was
Hux,
what drove Hux
This-
insane.
It would drive me insane too.
Yeah.
He's always walking around with his high waisted pants and his no
Yep.
shirt on. What
Yep.
a loser! Well, this Hux doesn't work for Kylo Ren.
Nope.
He works for something called Project Necromancer, which has to do with necromancy, I guess, which is a dark art about raising
The dead.
The dead? Yeah. And so in Star Wars lore, necromancy is a dark art that the Sith know about, but actually most Sith don't like it. They think it's too evil. They think it's too powerful. They actually like kind of ostracize any Sith that tries to practice necromancy. There are a few that have. There are a few that have succeeded. And I wouldn't doubt that the Emperor was one that did, because he was all into all the crazy dark things that the Sith don't even know about.
He was a Nazi.
Yeah, pretty much. He's like Hitler in the Indiana Jones movies, where he just wants to find all the ancient religious things that kill everybody.
Right, exactly.
Or like the real Hitler.
Yeah, I was gonna say we don't need to really refer to that as two separate things.
Yeah,
It's just
it was pretty accurate. Well, but the ones
pretty
in the movie,
straightforward.
The ones in the movie, I mean, I don't think in real life we have the ones that like attach to aliens and
Crystal
rip
skulls.
people's hearts out, and maybe they do. I've never seen them. Anyway, so Hux is working on something called Project Necromancer, and that points to the creation of clones from dead people, like we mentioned earlier, Joruus C'baoth, which they believe is the guy in the Ahsoka trailer that was released during Star Wars Celebration, the guy with the beard.
Ray Stevenson,
guy that looks like Sean Connery.
With the slightly orange lightsaber.
Yeah, he's got an orange blade, which, who was it? Dave Filoni came out in an interview and said
He said it was.
Yeah, he said the reason why it's orange is because it's actually a
not
really cool
fully
story.
Sith.
Well, yes, but when he watched the original trilogy that came out, there was discrepancy in the film effects.
So it made it look
It look kind of orange.
Yep.
And he always liked that because he always saw Vader as a conflicted force that wasn't quite like all the way evil. And so he was like, I want to make an orange saber for these guys that is like almost red, but not quite red, because they're not quite Sith.
Yeah.
So anyway, people believe that this guy might be playing Joruus, but the clone of Joruus, so Joruus is a Jedi who was cloned and created and kind of went insane, and Admiral Thrawn looked for him to kind of figure out the mystery behind cloning with Force-sensitive people and bringing back the dead. And in the comics and the books, they also tried to create a zombie force of stormtroopers, like they're undead stormtroopers by necromancy. So we have a lot of cool things. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, pretty well. They should totally make like a Call of Duty game, but you're like, I don't know, maybe Mandalorians, and you're fighting necromancy stormtroopers.
That would be it. That would be. I would.
Sick.
I think I would.
Like the flamethrowers, you had the knee rockets. That would be so cool.
I would lose my mind.
Yeah, we would probably never do the podcast again because all we'd be doing is playing that game.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
So, anyway, so Project Necromancy, man, that has a lot, and we're hoping to maybe see some of that, take shape in the Ahsoka series, and then maybe in Mando 4.
Yeah, we've been talking about how, in the realm of this new Star Wars trajectory with the Mandalorian, the Mandalorian is the central plot, and everything else kind of revolves around it.
Right.
And so we're kind of looking now to the Ahsoka series.
Yeah, that's coming out next.
Okay, what's the new direction now going to be? Because when we talk about the Mandalorian, a lot of things are wrapped up at this point.
Yeah,
like Mandalore is back in the hands of the Mandalorians.
Being rebuilt.
Is there to rebuild.
Right, Forge is relit.
Grogu is an apprentice now under Din, and Din has adopted him. Din Grogu.
Papa Din.
Papa Din.
We know that IG-11 is now back alive.
IG-12.
No. They called him IG-11.
No, they called him
that
IG-11.
Yeah,
and
because
he's the new warden of Navarro.
Right, taking care of everybody.
These storylines.
Papa Apollo Creed.
And Din Djarin is now contracted by the New Republic,
Nazi hunter,
to be able to take care of the Outer Realm.
Yeah.
And so everything is kind of wrapped up.
Yeah.
But what was cool about the way that they put it, at least the way I think that they put it, was Din said he would be on a contracted basis, on a case-by-case basis, that he would
he needs
choose
to evaluate.
So you can bring him in, pull him out of basically everything you want to do now at this point.
Yeah.
Because the man is sitting back, chilling out, maxing all cool, shooting some b-ball outside of the school on Navarro, and just training up Grogu.
Well, Grogu's just lifting frogs, man.
He didn't eat it this time, though. He just let it go back.
He put it back.
He put it back, probably because he's probably got enough of food now.
Yeah, that's true.
Probably.
But so, I know,
space skills.
Harry, you had said you weren't a big fan of where they had kind of left it, but
yeah,
I think the interesting thing is, like, Din is now kind of a role player.
Right.
And they get to focus on some of these other storylines before maybe they build up a new storyline for him. I don't know.
So you liked it. So, Harry,
I liked it, but I like clean storylines.
Right, you like things wrapped up.
I do.
And I think all of us do, especially when we know it's the end. But they've said season 4 has been written.
Very good point. Very good point.
They said season 4 has been written. And so I think the hesitation here is that they've already ended it really well. Are they going to ruin it in season 4? Harry, you were saying that
always
you were not super thrilled with how it all wrapped up.
Yeah.
Can you elaborate on that a little bit?
I just felt like the season's end, the finale was...
Yeah.
It was a finale that is good for a show that has made the announcement that it's not returning to make another season.
A series finale, not a season finale.
A series finale, not a season.
So I think it would have been a lot better if they're just like, hey, we're not coming back, and this is what it is. Even if they were planning on not coming back or not, or were. I think it cleaned up nice. It wasn't like sloppy. It was like, very seamless, but I think they should have ended on top. I think they should have ended this season because, we're going to miss like Grogu becoming an apprentice and eventually become a Mandalorian full time.
Right.
But at the same point, it's just like, I mean, that's a point of the story partially, but do we need that?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah,
so I think them ending it like living on the ranch and, Bo-Katan and everyone's back on Mandalore and things like that. Like everything's tied up. Everything's good to go. Slap the back of the truck and you're good to go and pull off. So
giddy up.
I think they could have just ended it. Would I have been upset? Sure, I would have been sad or whatever because it is what it is. But I just think they could have ended it maybe in a different way. I mean, I'm a big Empire Strikes Back guy. I love like the loss and then come back in the new season, see what we got. Try to make it something better.
So two possibilities. Can I throw them at you?
Sure.
One is would this have made it better for you, and the other one is a possibility. So would it have been better if it was like not an end credits, but like it faded out on them in the ranch, and then it opened up to maybe like a Moff Gideon clone waking up, or somebody like something to hook us to be like we want to come back to this world. Would that have made it better?
Maybe.
I was expecting Thrawn in some way.
Something like that.
I was expecting
just to make it like, there's more, because it did feel like it was over.
This figure standing on the bridge of a gigantic ship.
Sure.
And somebody
Zooming
walking
out
up. No, somebody walking up to him.
Yeah.
And informing him that Moff Gideon was
dead,
or the base was destroyed.
Yeah.
And
it would have been sick.
That's what I was expecting.
It would have been sick if they came up to him and said to Admiral Thrawn, like, Moff Gideon's dead. And then Thrawn just turns and goes, wake up another one. Like, that would have been cool.
Right.
Like, wake up the next one.
Right.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I was half expecting something along those lines.
Yeah, when it circled out, like it closed in the circle, which was very old school George Lucas.
Yeah.
Closed in. I thought it was going to, like, pop back up with something happening to, like, kind of hook us.
Nope.
So,
I was a little bit. That was the thing I was really surprised there was
no hook, especially because we know there's another season. Like we know there was one coming. If we didn't know it was coming,
I think that's to Harry's point.
Yeah, he's right. Yeah,
there's nothing.
So,
right now.
So you're saying, it would be sad to not to see Grogu or whatever. So how about this? What if like all the other seasons or series is, like they come out like Ahsoka and whatever, and we get like Logan saying we get some Mando kind of coming in to help out because he's a hero for hire kind of a thing, whatever. The next Mando season is a time jump, and Grogu's like older and a Mandalorian, and they're fighting together in the Outer Rim. Would that be cool?
I wouldn't want him to be a Mandalorian yet.
Or at least
right before becoming a Mandalorian.
Yeah, at least be able to talk and be like a little bit bigger and be able to wear some of the armor and like have it be like a big enough time jump. Yeah, big enough time jump that it's not like, oh, we're going on more adventures with Din and his kid.
But that's what it's going to be.
Probably.
We know it's going to be.
Probably. But what I'm saying is, would that make it better to have this be like the close of the chapter and then the next season start in such a new chapter? It's farther ahead.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. Do it, Star Wars.
I think they got to do something like that. Otherwise, it's like, why have this end to this season this way?
Right.
There's not. Right. There's no.
It's true. It is a moneymaker. People are going to come back.
Well, no kidding. No kidding. That's why they're not going to let it die because Disney.
That's why Jon Favreau said we don't really have an end. We're just going to make stuff.
Yeah, but I think what goes along with that is like there's literally nothing hanging out there except Thrawn. There's nothing hanging out there.
Which is why I think the Ahsoka series is going to help point us where we're going.
Yep.
Right? Because I don't think they're going to let Ahsoka happen without having Din. Like, Din will have to be at least mentioned in it, like, because he's part of the world and she's connected with him. So, excuse me.
Yeah.
So, hopefully, like, Ahsoka will give us a little clarity about where we're going with the child.
Agreed.
Did you see the cameo at the bar?
Yeah, I missed it.
What are you talking about?
Navarro? Or wherever
at the very end,
Rebel outpost.
At the very end, when Mando comes to the Rebel pilot and is like, I'm going to work for you on my terms. The bar scene there. Did you see the cameo? I missed it. He saw it.
What is it?
It's Dave Filoni.
Where? Dave Filoni's there at the bar.
Really?
He's got his cowboy hat on.
Yeah, he's got his freaking cowboy hat on.
No, I didn't.
I have to go back and watch. He was telling me on the ride up. I was like, I got to go back and watch it now.
Got to watch it again.
What the heck? I love that.
Yeah, that's funny.
I love that he didn't come in.
That's where Zeb was.
You know how right? You know how Peter Jackson will go in his movies and like get all dressed up, and be like you almost can't even recognize him. Yeah. I love how Dave Filoni is just like, put me in here with my cowboy hat.
Yep,
I'm just gonna sit here with my hat on.
Just gonna sit down here.
It's my hat now.
Yeah, my hat now. Yeah. My hat now.
Yeah. Well, honestly, I see your point, Harry, and I agree with you more now that you've fleshed it out a bit.
Mm-hmm.
I still trust Dave Filoni though, and I hope him and Favreau are going to do something good.
Out of all the people right now,
he's the most trustworthy, I think.
He's the most trustworthy.
Yeah.
Sure.
I think he loves it the most.
I trust him the most out of anybody guiding stuff right now.
Like even Feige loves Marvel. He does, but I think Filoni has.
But this last phase 5 has messed me up.
And everybody's he's gonna have some missteps. But what I'm saying is, I think Filoni has a stronger personal connection to Star Wars than Kevin Feige has to the greater Marvel universe.
No, I think
Filoni's just like I think he's literally a child of Star Wars.
Well, and Filoni's literally taking it back to the ground. Yeah, he's really grounding it.
He's like, these are all the things that made Star Wars great when it first came out. I'm gonna just take all those things and keep making it great.
Yeah.
So keep doing it, and we're going to keep talking about it. We're going to keep watching it. And even though we might not be as excited for Mando 4, we're going to watch it.
Oh, of course.
And we're going to talk about it.
Without a doubt.
Because it's great, and it's Star Wars. And we're going to, and I mean, until it becomes a sequel trilogy, and we never speak of it again, we're going to keep watching it.
Of course.
And we're going to keep talking about it. And you should come back here. And hear us talk about it, because we're lonely. We'll see you next time on the Legion of Comic Correction.